Good morning, ladies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Smiley Was in My Hero Academia? Smiley is a like is way too similar to Joker, but yeah, but his quirk allows him to be immune to everything, like poison. He cannot be poisoned, or the has resistance to laughing gas, sleeping gas, everything. And yeah, let's say some people are like frowning, and he has also the ability of forcing people to smile thing. Yeah, but he is the weakest one of the entire What If series that I ever made. So let's begin. So let's so usually I start with like Zuko and Zumi. Well, in this What If, Smiley, his full name is, I don't know, it's just call him Smiley. Or it used to be Timbuk, too. Or some other name I can never remember. So, yeah. Smiley Joker. That's what his full name is. I just thought about it. So, Smiley Joker has a. When he was born, his father was a scientist who's experimenting with laughing gas and or like a chemical thing, and his mother her was a team pro hero, and it I really don't want to spoil it, but yeah, the because she'll come up later. So yeah, so one day his father, so they took him to the Quark Doctor. The Quark Doctor told him that he had a quirk, a known quirk. So, so it was good. So one day he it was take your kid to work day thing. Like after when he was only 6 years old, but he got too close and he fell right in. As the father is had to like try to save him, but not or but his coworkers told him to not jump in. As it turned him into the ultimate smiler. So, yeah, into Joker, basically. He, but in this alternate timeline, instead of Joker being like a villain that just wants to like bring everyone smiles thing, Mel or laughing thing, he's immune as he tries to lift himself up. As he says that his DNA, like his quirk, was infused into his entire body. So with his abilities, yeah. So he's trying to hit himself. Oh, because his hair was still the same color. Or actually, it was changed to green as he looks around. Um, and yeah. So, yeah. So the Zuko, so he goes to UA at age of 15. And actually, in this alternate timeline, All for One is so sick and tired of people being so serious. He wants to make them all smile to death. Yeah. And then to steal their quirks. So, yeah. And then so everybody's like trying to do their thing. And of course, time skip to 15. And yeah. So then he goes to UA. He gets to class 1B. Because it's a appropriate thing for him, as his powers aren't very useful for any situations. So, and who was else was in there? Our little Miss Toga. Yes. Little girl right there. When she saw when she saw him, her face turned brightest red as a tomato because how much she likes him is like, yeah. So then I'm skipping the rest because except for the theme park, or let's say at USJ, the the Class A, Class B had to work together. As the villains ambushed them at USJ, Zuko, they planted a bomb, laughing bomb, to make everyone laugh. As Joker, they all called him, as he tells 13, or he's as he tries to find someone that's, as he tells Zuko to get out of here, tell everyone, and he told Todoroki to get everyone out of here now. Look over there. As Todoroki agrees. So he took everyone else out and closed the door as the villains are about to ambush. As 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As green smoke comes out, as everyone was, or all the villains that were high tier villains were affected by it. As they start laughing, I mean, uncontrollable. Oh, and they could not help themselves, as, yeah. But the only person that was unaffected by it was the jokester. Yeah, the Joker. Yeah. Because Kirigiri warped Shiraki-sen away. Yeah. And it's in... It can never stop, so... Oh, hold on. Sorry about that. Yeah. So, basically... The... Zuko... Who... is... Kinda getting, like... Or, actually, Joker... was walking up to the bomb. As he could tell that it's a... As he disassemble it. As he pulls out, like, wires, like normal, like how in Justice League they had that scene where it's a lot of, like, bombs that will go off. Well, when he pulls the bomb thing, or when he pulls the triggers thing, like, he takes out all the wires one by one, as he needs to dispose of the gas. Before the villains are too toxicated. Yeah. As there's no other... Okay. As he's trying to... As he's had a like, cell phone thing, like the earpod that talks thing, as he tells All Might, ain't they, or like, or Nezu to, do you have anyone that can pierce through holes, or like pierce through anything? As Nezu says, well, yeah, why? Well, oh, as he says, well, these, I need someone to puncture a hole through the top because there's this green gas thing that's making everyone, like, the villains are dying from it. So, how do, it's, I don't know what to do. That's, hey? And Nezu's like, be calm. Joker, Dean, or the Joker, be calm. It's just, we'll be right there, hurrying before the villains, and villains are dying. And Zuko, or as All Might appears, as he used he punctured the hole through the top. As All Might knew. So he tells Momo, because he did a lot of research on Momo's quirk creation, and told her, or asked her to create a mask for All Might. Okay? So then she did, and as All Might does his full punched a hole, and all the green gas went up into the air, like, and the gas did flush out before. And Zuko, or Joker, lifts everyone, or all the villains out, and they were in, like, this, like, it was gonna be like killing them, but then Zook, or Miss, or the Joker was saves them, like, lifts them up, put him on his back, and, like, as he walks towards the front, as the doors open, and Zuko, or as Joker, is like, thank goodness you were there. As All Might asked, or like one of the, or actually Detective asked Joker, how did he survive that? As everyone's like wondering why too. As Joker says, well, my quirk, or my ability allows me to be immune to everything. Like, not even laughing gas of that type could make me giggle, or could make me smile like that. Because he's already infected, so, no, yeah, he only smiles when he feels like it. He feels a lot of happiness. As they all start asking him, like, how does it work? How does, well, think about it as me wearing that air mask for every single time. I'm immune to it. Really? Yeah. So then now the Cam Park or Sports Festival, then the Cam Park, and the father that I was saying, he's still alive. So, and then his wife, the that father, was actually Bunny Girl is his wife. Yeah. So they were watching. I was gonna, yeah. So actually, he had two wives. Joker's father had two wives, Midnight and that Bunny Girl. Yeah. Probably you're like flying backwards if you're saying, what? That's a good plot point. Yeah. So then Zuko is immune to sleeping gas, so it's basically his body is now immune to every disease known to man, too. Because when he fell into the pool of, like, every virus thing, it also mixed with his, like, quirk and his ability. So basically he is now a evolved form. So he can never get sick. He never ever like gets like poisoned by laughter or anything. Yeah. It doesn't matter how much amount that he can take. He can take it all. So, yeah. And his eyes are stayed normal, by the way. Look at those. Look at that face right there. Look, do you see those eyes right here? These guys right here. Alright. Right. My own eye starts to itch in real life, so yeah. So then Zuko, so then they all ask him, like, how does he do that? And then, so I'm skipping the sports festival. But before the sports festival, like 10 days thing, like halfway, like the 5th day, like halfway through, Toga finally scourged up the nerve to ask him out on a date. Yeah. So she tells him that she's in love with him and she wants him to be her husband. And yeah. So, yeah. Basically, he said sure. And plus, before he said sure, he said, or actually she says to him, I'll be Harley and you'll be Joker. As he, like Harley Quinn and Joker, kind of love. Yep. Sure. Because we're both insane. As Toga says, yeah, we are. So, yeah. Don't ask them how. I don't understand how someone be so calm, but then being so, like, angry at the same time. So then, during the camp arc, the villains kidnap Toga. Yeah. And Joker was basically followed. And now it's All for One versus All Might. As All for One is about to, like, raise his hand to, like, shoot a beam of light. But you know those, like, cartoons where I don't remember where it was. There it is. So Joker used that colorful stick thing to move All for One's arm that is about to shoot away from All for One, or All Might. Sorry. So Zuko basically so when it, like, fired, it went and shot him. But so the Joker left the attack, or, like, dodged the attack unharmed. As he says, you think that little old attack could work on somebody like me? Please, I've been fell into a puddle of acid more, or chemical bath more than this. I might be clumsy, but I get stuff done. As All for One's like, so you're immune to everything, but your friend will get the taste of this. Alright, so, yeah. Get a taste of the laughing gas. Once it goes off, it is all over for you who all. Well, normally I don't hear about the worry about yourself. Oh, I would be happy to who like get everyone out of here. As he tells All Might to come on to or take everyone and Zuko or Joker or when the bomb went off, he had a spare mask, huh? Huh? Because Momo who used her quirk to create a mask over her face thing, for all of them. But he didn't need it, so what does he do? He walks over, puts it on Toga, as Toga was trying to, at first when she was about to die from laughter thing, Joker put some mask on her before the fumes got into her body. Right on time. As he had a lot of masks over, so he puts it on the entire League of Villains. Twice. He took off twice his mask and put a air thing on. And yeah. So basically, yeah. Only two people that were escaped was Shiraki-san and All for One. And Kirigiri. Because the rest of them were about to die. As he, alright, now let me figure out how to stop this nuke, or this laughing maker. As he goes in, there it is. As he goes right into the machine. Almost there. Okay. There it is. And I forgot to mention, in this alternate timeline, because Jokester is Joker, but if he was a good guy, not the villain. So yeah. So Jokester pulled out all the wires and made it explode. So it got sent backwards. But he did stop the nuke. Or he did stop the laughing gas thing. As he was like, oh, okay. I feel much better. And Zuko, or as Jokester's like, okay. As he got whacked in the back of a head, and landed on a concrete pillar. And yeah, it looked like a Looney Tunes gag right there. He just it's like that if Wile E. Coyote just like got hit and got had a boulder get right onto him. Yeah. Nezuko, because he also has zero, so he takes no damage. It's like how Looney Tunes are. As everyone that was on top of buildings looking straight down and seeing him, they all start laughing their heads off. As they were like, that was just funny, Joker. As he starts laughing with them. Yeah. Because he has such a good immunity to everything. And even, like, because as Toga is, like, laughing at him, even the League of Villains were laughing at him. And so they basically did their thing. And, yeah. Thanks to you, Joker, the save everyone's safe. Yeah. Some of the gags that you do is like, yeah. And by the way, that's not like any part. It's just his costume. So, yeah. So then, Zuko, so Jokester was able to pinpoint the location faster than they, because he's also a smart one. So when he like grabbed a All for One and wrist, Zuko, or I keep saying Zuko, the Joker puts a tracker on him. So, yeah. Inside of his, like, shirt on his skin. As the pro heroes are, like, trying to figure out how should we, like, stop All for, or we need to find All for One before. And Zuko, or as Joker, like, knocks at the door. As everybody's, or as he comes in, I couldn't help myself when I heard All for One needs to be found. No need to worry. I pinpointed his location. As he, yeah. So, the Zuko, or so, the Joker gave him like a machine thing, as he gives it to Nezu. Not like put it in his face. He set it down on his table, and they pinpointed where his location is. As they're like, man, how did you first of all, how did you put, or how did you, like, put the tracker on, or, well, I am not smart, you know. Usually, yeah. So, then they pinpointed his location, and Zuko, or Jokester, walks up to All for One, and All for One's like, how did you find us? Oh, it's a family secret. It's how I roll. But now it's time for you to roll out into your little prison cell. And as Jokester dodges the attack again, spring forward, fall back, boom. And because he learned that skill, or he learned that move from his mother, because he has two mothers, so he learns a lot of things. As he says, now, as Zuko says, or actually, not Zuko, the Joker says this. Are you ready? I know that you used the laughing gas to, like, infect those people that were my friends, are my friends. So, as Joker uses his own version, as he says that you might need this, as All for One and Shiraki-san couldn't be stopped, or can't stop laughing, as it's like it was a small dose of it, but it's very powerful. And, like, mobilized them. So, yeah. They so then they both got apprehended, and that boosts the Joker's, like, level, like, his rank, because if he was in the, like, if he was a pro hero, he would be ranked number 2, bumping everyone else down. But he's a student, but he's still, yeah. So then, after All for One got kidnapped, and Shiraki-san was too, and then the Toga introduces her mother to him, and, like, because they heard a lot about him, and yeah, Toga agrees to get married to him. So they did. And yeah, they had their honeymoon one. And they had, so Toga had 3 kids in her stomach. Basically, like, she was pregnant. Yeah. And now there is Zuko in this what if, but he was had this elemental manipulation as his quirk. His sister does too. So yeah. And basically the now it was finally time for Toga to give birth to three or like three people or or I'll change it to because there's King 5 kids in her stomach. Yeah. And then they all were ready to get born. And so they all had different powers. Like Joker or like Jokester Jr. was had the powers of his father and his mother's, but he can stretch his limbs out further than the rest. Yeah. Like his entire body. It's like Fantastic Four mixed with a Joker. So then, yeah. Yeah. So then Zuko oh who also grabs everyone. So yeah. And then they're all named after like cards, like the playing cards. Like King is the son with a powerfulest powers. He could shoot laser beams through his fingers tips or his hands. His and then the queen is a girl, and she basically it's basically 3 guys and 2 girls. You want to see them? Like that one, like those 5 that he or that Toga gave birth to. Each one and had their father's is laughing thing, like they're immune to every disease, and they could transform into like different shapes, like their mother does, but without drinking blood. Yeah. So yeah, basically this is what they are. And one of the like the daughter, her that's the most quiet one, that gets the most of Joker's is attention, because he told Toga that he he that he wants to spend time with his or with their daughter. It feels like that their daughter isn't. You know which daughter he's talking about? The one that has that. He's also immune to it, so yeah. So, Joker walks up to her, but instead of like angry at him or like having every emotion, he tells her that he doesn't want to see her like be alone or sad, so he'll spend time with her as her father wants to spend time with their children. Treat them all equals. Okay? As Ace looks over at him, and she could sense there's, as he hugs her, I'm not lying to you, okay? Because out of all of the kids, if I had to put all of you in ranks of the, like, you all are still like a number one in my book. But, okay? I don't want to have any of you feel like that you're be mistreated as, okay? If that makes sense. So, he plays with all the kids equally. And they had their fun. Looks like I have to go to work. Okay? And, yeah. So, I'll bring you some, like, okay? As Hoga understands that that her friends, or that her father spends a lot of time with the kids and her at the same time, because he doesn't want to, oh, as he gets pummeled, oh, as he's like, okay, now I'm real upset. Because his infinity power is just allows him to do everything in his power to protect everyone. Like, he doesn't want to see his own, like, kids see him as a failure. Or, like, worst father thing. So, he does in his power that this is what he knows what he's gonna do. As he shows his true power, as they could not believe, as all, or like a League of Villain, or the villain that was trying to rob a bank. Of course, Ace, that girl right there, she has her father's, like, power. Like, look at her eyes. Yeah. Joker, yeah, in this what if, had a similar ability because his infinity. Yeah. And no, I'm not gonna just turn him into like a most overpowered. So when he used a similar thing, he stretched his arms out and he kidnapped, and he made those villains looked into his eyes, and yeah, they were like totally, totally frozen. And as he always had these weird, like, nightmare things, as he can't, like, stop these weird feelings. Like, he knows that in his heart that he won't, he doesn't want to think, he doesn't want them to think that he's, like, gonna be terrible. Oh, oh. He just, as he gets up out of his bed, as Toga wonders why he always does that in the middle of the night, as he just can't think straight. And as Toga finally asks, "What's going on?" It's every time you're like trying to think about something since after the kids and were born, you had this weird feeling for a while. So please spill the beans. Okay. As Zuko, or as Joker tells him, or tells Toga, or actually Toga and their sons and daughters asks him why, as he comes up with a not a lame excuse, but he asked him, or so they asked, uh, they asked, or so Joker asked them if they, how does they feel about him, as Ace, he said, and the rest of them says, "You love ya. Why do you say that, or why did you ask that? Every time I had these dreams after you got, or after you kiddos were born, I always had this nightmare where I, as he starts to tear up, um, the, that he can't process, as he tells them that he wanted to spend time with them because they, yeah, please wait for part 2.